Howdy gardeners, we're here at the Vego farm today, direct seeding some crops in these raised beds. It's spinach, and then over here we're gonna plant radishes, rutabagas, turnips, carrots, and I think that's it. A bunch of root crops. Depending on how many rows per bed I do, I'll scrape back either 2 rows or 1 row on this one. I think I'm just gonna go 1 row on this. So we gotta get to the soil before we start putting seeds down. Trying to go straight down the center. All right, and now I gotta go in with my hands, clean this up. I'm gonna seed right along that drip line, so our seed's gonna get watered. It's a perfect spot. Most of this mulch is gonna stay off of that furrow, so I can start kind of getting it into its final resting place for now. And once the seeds pop, we can push some of it back. So now I'm gonna make a furrow. Okay, we've got spinach here. And we'll seed it kind of densely because we're doing 1 row and it's getting kind of hot, so we're gonna make sure we have spinach here. If we need to thin, we can, but spinach is one where you can plant it densely and just grow it as baby leaves. And normally I wouldn't put my dirty seed back in the packet. I would be more careful about that. I would have put it all down, but I'm gonna seed all of this today, so all good. So you see the difference with this tool? I was trying to furrow with that one, but it's just too wide. So now I'm using this narrow trowel, and it makes a really nice furrow. So this is the tool. We've got arugula here, and we direct seeded some kale here. This is red Russian kale. We'll grow it as a baby green, and I'm just gonna cover the seed up here. So we're covering the seed and pushing the soil down a little bit for seed to soil contact. And then a light scatter mulch. That mulch will protect the soil, keep it from drying out, keep the direct sun off of it. And we're doing a light mulch so that the little seedlings can still poke through and not get smothered by it. So we were just moving these sweet potatoes, and I was observing that if we were to allow all these nodes to root into the ground, it can stunt your main crop, which is in that bed. So it's a good maintenance routine to come and lift these up and prevent them from rooting into the ground cover, especially if it's nutritive. This is DG, so it's not that nutritive, but still. It is rooting, as you can see. Every single node will eventually form roots, and it'll try to set, they'll try to set tubers at every one of these nodes, which will just make them all tiny, instead of one big cluster of tubers. I'm looking for the screws. I use those as a reference sometimes. Like that. If I had a yardstick, I might measure. Okay, now these ones, I don't want to plant them too densely like a baby green, so I got to pay more attention to what I'm doing here than the other beds. So I actually need 2 hands. So this is a root crop, and we're not going to harvest them until they're of size. And if they're overplanted, then they won't form good size pretty much ever, and they'll all be tiny. So if I overseed it, we just won't have good results.